Smart lighting is probably my favorite smart home category, especially when it comes to adding color and interest. Yeelight is a smart lighting company that you may know. They offer light bulbs, light strips, and lamps that work with Apple Home. But today, I'm sharing my thoughts on their most creative and coolest product, the Yeelight Cube. These modular light cubes come in 3 different designs so you can mix and match, and there are plenty of effects to choose from, including some music scenes, and yes, you can create your very own patterns. This works with Matter to fit right into your Apple Home, though there are some limitations that you'll want to be aware of before adding to your smart home. There are 3 different cubes to choose from. They're all the same size, about 3 inches on each side, and you can mix and match whichever you like, but you are limited to 6 per power supply. There's the Matrix Cube, which displays 5 rows of 5 dots for 25 in total, and each dot can be its own color, so even within a single Matrix Cube, there are a lot of fun design possibilities. The panel design is similar and provides diffused light, and lastly, the spotlight can display a single color. The spotlight can be angled to avoid direct light depending on your viewing angle, so great for bouncing light off a wall. Each of these cubes can be rotated 360 degrees. The cubes only come in black. The screen on the Matrix and panel is glossy. In the case of the spotlight, it's entirely matte black, aside from the actual light, of course. Here's the power supply. As you can see, it's pretty thin and includes a power input as well as a coil that will magnetically connect to your extension cubes. Use the button for manual control. A single tap turns the unit on. You can tap it to cycle through 8 modes that you can also customize in the app. A 2-second press turns the cubes off, and a 5-second performs a factory reset. Each of the cubes include a pin connector on one side and a coil connector on the other side, so aside from the power which needs to be on an end, you can move these cubes wherever you want. You can stack these horizontally or even vertically. There's a silicone cover that will pop into the last cube to cover the coil connector for a clean look. To set up the Yeelight cubes, you need to use the Yeelight Station app, which confused me at first. Of course, I didn't read the instructions and I went right into the Yeelight app and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find these cubes. I'm not sure why it's a separate app, but it would be nice if Yeelight could consolidate this for an easier user experience. It wasn't hard to add these cubes once I finally had the correct app, but it's important to add these to the Yeelight Station app first, then HomeKit afterwards. The process of adding these into the Yeelight Station app is similar to Apple Home though. You will receive a Matter code in the box that came with the power supply, and the code's also printed on the power supply panel. Once you've successfully added to the Yeelight app, then you can select your setup. This is listed as module splicing in the app. Start by selecting your power position, and then one by one and in order add each of your cubes. I actually started with 7 cubes, but as I mentioned earlier, I was limited to 6 since I only had 1 power supply. Once I finished the setup, I added these into Apple Home, which you can do by selecting Enable Pairing Mode in the settings. The app will give you a setup code, which I was surprised is actually different than the Matter code on the device. In the Home app, you can go to Add a Device and then look for the Yeelight lamp, or simply say, my device isn't listed, and then paste your setup code. From there, it's as easy as adding any other HomeKit device. When using in the Home app, you are pretty limited though. You can't transfer scenes from the Yeelight Station app into Apple Home. I would love to see this enhancement in the future. You can turn the lights on, which will typically default to your last on scene, which is nice. You can dim the lights, turn them off, or change the entire color, but only a single color for the entire device. The HomeKit integration via Matter is great because you can use it if you're leaving home or for your good night scenes. Though to get the most out of this product, you'll definitely want to use the Yeelight Station app. I found the app to be pretty easy to use. On the home screen, you can see the device with lighting effects on the same screen. From the home screen, you can also access music flow, adjust the sensitivity, and find your perfect scene. There are too many options to demonstrate, but simply select the style like breathing, blossom, spectrum, and convergence. Then select your colors with lots of presets under mood, landscape, music, and holiday. The downside is that there isn't a built-in mic within the Yeelight Cube. The music flow relies on using your phone's microphone. If you click on the device, then you can see all of the scenes shown in floating bubbles. Some options include aurora, bonfire, and building blocks. You can also adjust the brightness here. Then there's the pixel graffiti where you can really have some fun by customizing each cube. I love how easy this is to do. You can start by looking at presets. Basically, you're customizing a cube one at a time, and then you can scroll between each of the cubes. Under presets, there's some really cool patterns like arrows, a Christmas tree, music note, and as you can see, much more. You can select patterns, numbers, transitions, and horizontal and vertical combinations. After selecting each pattern, click Edit to adjust the color and also apply a dynamic effect. There's so many options here and you can spend hours playing with the different possibilities. After you have one that you're happy with, then you can save it so you can play it again anytime. You also have a clock mode, which is a fun and functional way of using your cubes, and you can add the date as well. I really like this as a default mode, though I find it quite unusual that you can only select a 24-hour clock. You would think this would be an easy fix, and Yeelight said they are working on a 12-hour clock, so hopefully that comes soon with a future firmware update. For the gamers out there, there's also a Yeelight app that you can download. It's only available for Windows though, so I wouldn't be able to demonstrate this for you, even if I wanted to, but you can sync compatible Yeelight lights, including the cube, to capture ambient light and rhythm from your computer. So if you're a gamer, then that may be something worth checking out. To purchase the Yeelight Cube, start with the base, which includes the power and one cube, and costs around $75 Canadian. While you can use the product with a single panel, I definitely recommend at least a few, and you can always add more later, up to 6 in total per power supply. Each additional cube costs around $45, with the Spotlight being slightly more expensive than the Matrix and panel, at least as of the time of recording. You can also buy these in bundles with various cubes, like the starter kit selling for around $165, a clock kit, standard kit, graffiti kit, explorer kit, and a music kit that sells for around $700. So it's not cheap, but those looking to really set their space apart with some unique and versatile lighting, then I think you can justify the price. I do have affiliate links in the description if you're digging these lights and you want to try them out yourself. This is not only great for gamers, but it would work well in a bedroom, an office, or a rec room. A couple of enhancements that I would really like to see would be the ability to sync my scenes from the Yeelight Station app into Apple Home, and second would be a schedule option, so even if I can't bring these into Apple Home, it would be great if I could schedule the scenes to turn on from the Yeelight Station app. So maybe I want a clock during the day and then something different and more exciting in the evening. In terms of reliability, specifically with these Yeelight Cubes, it's been good. I've been using it for a few weeks now and I haven't had any no response errors, so far so good. For me, I like smart home lighting and I love to see companies get creative and try something different. What are your thoughts on the Yeelight Cube smart lamp? Do you like the design? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.